What's up guys, it is the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here to give you 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. This time, however, we will be taking a break from the Eldar lore to go to another Xenos race, my favorite, the Tau Empire. And we will be talking not about their war gear or their individual characters, but we will be going over a conflict known as the Battle of Mugulath Bay. Without further ado, let's begin this lore. So the Battle of Mugulath Bay occurred on the Imperial planet known as Agrellan during the Tau's Third Sphere expansion. It involved the Imperium and the Tau Empire. The Imperium's forces was led by the Chapter Master Corvic Severax of the Raven Guard and Captain Corsaro Khan of the White Scars, and they were pitted against Commander Shadowsun and the Ethereal Supreme Aunva. This battle was the first major engagement between the Imperium and the Tau Empire. It was centered on the hive world of Agrellan. The human forces had amassed a substantial force of Imperial Guard, which were heavily dug in and supported by heavy Leman Russ battle tanks. The White Scars, under Captain Corsaro Khan, also arrived to lend their aid. The Imperial defenses surrounding each hive were formidable, heavy walls topped with bunkers, overlooking an open wasteland rigged with mines and tank traps. Bypassing or landing behind these positions was difficult, as they would simply find themselves trapped within the twisting streets of the hive cities and were surrounded on all sides. However, due to the strategic importance of Agrellan, it was the gateway to the Dovar system. The Third Sphere commander Shadowsun realized that it would be impossible to simply bypass this world. So to bolster Tau morale for the battle ahead, the Ethereal Supreme Aunva personally arrived to meet with the Tau forces and were ready to enter battle. To crack this formidable planet, Shadowsun herself planned and led the assault. 20 hunter cadres simultaneously struck key hive nods, and the vanguard of each strode to the latest and mightiest Tau weapon, the XV-104 Riptide battlesuit. This was the first combat deployment of the Riptide, and they proved invaluable during the battle, using their agility to bypass defensive points and blowing apart Imperial Guard bunkers and tanks with their heavy weapons. Better still for the Tau, much of the Imperial anti-tank weaponry proved useless against the Riptide's armor. Even the firing of an Imperial Death Strike missile proved unable to penetrate the Riptides once they had activated their Nova Reactor shields. Upon reaching the enemy walls, the Riptides engaged their jetpacks and created breaches that would later be exploited by the Fire Warrior teams. Taking advantage of the situation, Shadowsun then began her mass ground assault, led by Hammerhead tanks, Manta gunships, and Sun Shark bombers. Despite being outnumbered by Imperial tanks 6-1, the Tau emerged victorious, thanks to their planning, maneuverability, and long-range firepower. It was during this engagement that Longstrike gained infamy for destroying countless Leman Russ tanks, and led the Tau grav tanks into the streets of Agrellan's capital. Here the Tau were able to accurately hammerhead firepower to quickly suppress any Imperial Guard forces that attempted to move out of cover and engage incoming waves of fire warriors. Meanwhile, the White Scars Space Marines were proving deadly, but their small numbers and mere raids could not turn the tide of war. Shadowsun then led a counterattack against the Imperial forces that turned into a complete rout in what is now known as the Path of Blood. By this point, the Raven Guard 6th Company, under Chapter Master Corvin Severax, had made himself known, revealing his intent to evacuate the planet as he saw that Agrellan was lost. But with the Tau rapidly approaching the broken remaining Imperial positions, delaying actions had to be made. Thus, the Raven Guard, in cooperation with Cadian Imperial Guard and the Knights of House Terran, held back the Tau from besieging Agrellan Prime's hive city. However, Tau Riptides brought down the Knights, and a flanking maneuver by Shadowsun saw the Raven Guard and Cadians entrapped. Severax then played his trump card, and the Free Blade, known as the Obsidian Knight, entered the battle. Severax had been aware of his skill in battle, and secretly transported him to Agrellan. The Obsidian Knight was able to prevent the Tau encirclement, and he gave the Imperials enough time to evacuate. This was indeed a bright day for the Tau, who saw a foe with vastly superior numbers crushed. Moreover, no less than 12 advanced weapon prototypes were successfully deployed in the campaign, with only the fusion reactor meltdown that destroyed Agrellan's move proving a failure. After the battle, Agrellan became a new Tau sept, renamed Mugulath. With Mugulath in their hands, almost nearby Imperial worlds fell to the Tau in very short order. Following Shadowsun's victory, she became overconfident and pursued the retreating Imperials, which led to a stinging defeat at the Battle of Volturus. Eventually, the Imperium launched a counterattack that saw Mugulath destroyed in a second battle. But following the disastrous Imperial defeat at Mugulath Bay, Imperial commanders held a council of war and agreed to stage a deliberately slow retreat toward the feudal world of Volturus. They hoped that they would draw in the pursuing Tau commander Shadowsun and allow for an ambush that would annihilate the Xenos. The Imperials prepared most of their ambush in Volturus' most defensible area, the fortress of Furion Peak. The Tau, overconfident in their orbital scans, vastly underestimated their defeated enemy and did not realize that forces including Colonel Strachan's Catachan Jungle Fighters, Corsaro Khan's White Scars, and Shadow Captain Shrike's Raven Guard all had taken up positions on the planet. The Tau were fooled by the efforts of the White Scar's Stormseer, Subabeth, who cast a psychic mist over their positions. Thus, when Shadowsun's army made planetfall at the foot of Furion Peak, the Imperial trap closed. The Tau were baffled by their psychic abilities of the White Scar Stormseers, who had led a charge to engage their foes at close range. Shadowsun managed to hunt down and kill Subadeth, but the Imperials were closing their trap, and scores of Imperial Knights soon appeared, blasting the Tau army until the road before them had been destroyed. Many of Shadowsun's most trusted teams had to give their lives to secure her escape. She swore that after this battle, their sacrifice would not be in vain, and that she would redouble her efforts in the third sphere of expansion. This led to Shadowsun executing the Perfectia campaign shortly thereafter. And this concludes the Battle of Mugulath Bay, which was one of the greatest Tau victories over the Imperium. So let me know what you guys thought about this battle. I thought it was pretty cool. I never really liked Shadowsun, but if you read her, I believe it's in Kanyan, she was very strategic and she knew exactly what to do, when to do it, and where exactly it needed to be done at. It was pretty cool, but in my opinion, the best battle comes at a later date, which we will get to tomorrow, the second battle of Mugulath Bay. So yeah, the Imperial forces retreated, but they never just lose. They have to come back and fight double to basically make them pay for it. So once again, guys, what did you think about this Tau victory over basically the White Scars, the Raven Guard, the Imperial Guard, and freaking Knights? Like, in my opinion, I could have never seen this happen, but it happened. So again, what do you guys think about this? Don't forget, we've had giveaways all this week, so please check out our previous videos so you guys can win some epic Space Marine stuff in honor of Guilliman returning. That's all I've got for you guys. Don't forget to check out our Patreon page, our Facebook page, our Twitter, and our Instagram for more 40k content. And as always, I am the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I am signing out.